Good morning everybody, Can't Bike here. Stuck for a Sunday morning ride, slightly unexpectedly. Well, actually I've been planning it all week, a Sunday ride. Graham and I were supposed to be heading southwards and I'm now heading northwards, so it's not the same ride. But we're supposed to be heading southwards to go and see a site, but the council decided to go out and start salting like mad, even though it's not cold, which is weird. Actually, to be fair, it's not too bad here, but even though it's not cold, they decided to do salting. They always seem to do that. It's almost like they want to finish off the reserves of salt. So Graham spent apparently an hour or so this morning removing salt from his car and didn't want to do the same for his bike. So I thought, well, that's my ride off, never mind, get some work done or something instead. And Mrs. C saw me looking glum, so what's the matter? I said, oh, Graham's not able to make it because of the salt. She said, get your helmet on, I'll get my gear on, let's go for a cuppa. So she's on the back. Bit of a pillion ride. We're going to go just up the road, have a cup of tea, come back, and I'll probably get the hose pipe out and rinse down my bike. As I was actually getting the bike ready, I'd pulled it into the street and I was just doing a bit of lube on the chain, which I know I should have done after my last ride, but I forgot. And somebody said to me, oh, you're brave going out in this. Maybe they know something I don't know. It's not actually too bad really. It's quite nice really, apart from being a little bit damp. But Mrs. C is far more brave, sitting on the back of this thing. She has nowhere to hold on. There is a strap on the rear seat, but she'd have to have her hand underneath my bottom to actually use it. They put it in a very strange place, and you can only get 2 fingers through it because it's such a small strap. I think it's a pretend seat really, the pillion seat, because it's also not much bigger than a bicycle saddle. The other week went for a ride with Graham and we ended up at Rob Speed is the Kawasaki dealer. We ended up at the Honda dealer, Miles Kingsport in Hull, and I was having a look at some bikes in there with the sole intention of finding something that would be more comfortable for Mrs. C on the back. When we had the CB500X, it had the bars that were part of the... Well, normally the bike has bars at the back, but it had different bars because of the luggage that she could hold on to. And it had a top box. And I have to say, from going on the back of Tosh's Blackbird with a top box, it removes all need to hold on anyway. So I do think it's time to start looking for a second bike for Mrs. C to sit on, and because the insurance claim is all settled now, I think that's probably a good time to think about that second bike. Don't know what to get though. I was having a look at their CB500X, the newer one, which looks like a nice bike again. It's a bit taller than the one I had, which is it was a surprise really, because the one I had was kind of at the limit of what I was comfortable with anyway. And then I had to sit on the NC 750X, which is the one that, as they describe it, I think Honda say it isn't, but even the dealership said it's basically half a car engine, half an engine out of a Honda Jazz in it. So it revs kind of strangely, only revs up to about 6,000 revs, and won't set the world alight, but do you want to set the world alight when you've got a pillion on board? Which is what it would really be for. That and for luggage, so we could have overnight stops in it and I could go out with my cameras and my drone. But the only thing that kind of puts me off the NC750X is it seems designed to not have chain maintenance. For some reason it doesn't come with a centre stand as standard. Well, I know what the reason is, they want to sell you one. But from what I could see, there's no real good way of attaching a set of paddock stand bobbins to it either. which as a minimum I'd want. I've got them on this. And there's no fitting kit for the Superbike stand or the Skylift, which is a bit of a shame. Because other than that, it felt, to sit on, felt like quite a nice bike. I might still give it a test ride anyway. And then, you know, if it's brilliant, work out what to do. I might be lucky with that little rain shower if I get another one just as I get home. Could be ideal timing, couldn't it, to wash the bike of salt before I pack it up. Save me getting the hose pipe out. It's not really ideal to be riding when there's salt on the roads, especially with a naked bike where the salt can get in all the nooks and crannies and is a pain to get off again. But it was a case of common sense on the one hand saying don't go for a ride, and on the other side of those scales was having some fun on the bike. So fun won, common sense lost. I don't know if it's just that it's dissolved in the water or if they haven't salted this bit, but it's actually quite clear here. No obvious salt on the road. Nothing on the side road either. Maybe the council just had a little bit left to do and decided to do just near our houses. Here we are in Bridlington. This is where we're headed for our cuppa. Might be one of those days where it's a tad too cold for Mrs. C to have ice cream, but nice warm cuppa. I'm actually quite warm today, wearing my Beckicle wear, given to me by Jim the Alpha on a motorbike, the guy who got me into this malarkey, as he would say, in the first place. But just a little run really. It's not too far away, Bridlington. It's doable in about half an hour from where I live if you go the fast way. Nice spot by the seaside for a cuppa. Just up the road from Flamborough, where we go to see the puffins, which are just coming back now. Maybe I'll take you to see the puffins if anyone's interested in in that one for a video. Because the first puffin arrived back, well, the first one that hit the news arrived back a few days ago. So they all come back to this area, a little bit further north on the cliffs, mainly to a place called Bempton, which is also an RSPB preserve, so they're kept reasonably safe there, although the numbers are all dwindling of all the seabirds. But the puffins there are always a good one to go and have a look at. Always fun. Little brightly coloured beaks, clowns of the sea. In fact, maybe I'll go to Flamborough instead. Mrs. C hopefully isn't too uncomfortable on the back. So she'll be now going, oh, where's he going? Well, what a thing. Well, this might be the start of an adventure I didn't want. So I'm going to wrap this video up. I've just gone past the petrol station where I really needed to fill up, and it's closed. And my little petrol indicator is flashing like mad. Just asked somebody at the side of the road and they've told me that's the only one in this town. So I may have to head back to Bridlington after all. Hopefully I'll make it. Hypermiling all the way. So gonna wrap this one up. I'll let you know if I failed. So thanks for watching, everyone. Ride safe. Don't leave it too late to fill up your petrol. And I'll talk to you all again soon.
Do
What am I looking at? Oh, you want Greg's instead? Can have Greg's if you want. Or you want to go and get Greg's while I fill up?